Lines and gizmos. Well, yeah, I mean, welcome to this one. And this one has got, I mean, look at this panel here. We will have a proper decent look at this in a bit. We'll have a listen first. But this one's got more tricks up its sleeve than Paul Daniels had. So let's have a listen and I'll say what I can. So surely it is pick-up time, and yes, it is just pick-up time, and we will start. I mean, it's a bit weird this. We'll start with the bridge, which you can't tell whether it's on or not. On the anyway, let's have a listen. And onto the centre, which will probably sound exactly the same. And onto the neck. So, what we want to have a little listen to is one knob while we're on distorted that's called decayed. I'm going to go back into the centre because some of the stuff doesn't work when you're on dip. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Anyway, let's have a look at this thing called decayed. So every time there's 11 positions on this, and so I assume that every time I click it, I'm going to go backwards or forwards by 10 years. And it alters the harmonics, but with a single note. Comes to the end now. What else have we got? Oh yeah, treble and bass, so. And again, there's a tone selector here. This it looks like a Telecaster switch, doesn't it, you see? And there are 3 positions on that, and it only, does that only work when you're in the middle position? Or is that the in and out of phase? No, the tone works all the time. Position 3. Position 2 is, so the tone knob doesn't bring anything in, it leaves stuff out. Position 1. Position 3. And position 2 doesn't bypass anything. That's your full fat thing. Right. Let's have so you're going to be stood there on stage, aren't you? Going, now I've got. Wait a minute, just let me get in the middle of a solo. Let me get my spec sheet out and see see how it cleans up. And starting with the bridge pickup. Into the centre. And onto the neck. Right, let's have a look about with that harmonic thing, that decayed. Yeah, it's subtle. And now let's try in and out of phase. Well, that definitely works. What else can we talk about with the tone control? So that's with nothing bypassed. That's with something bypassed. That's with something else bypassed. Not a treble. Bass. It's all I'm looking about, if you ask me. But still, if you don't experiment with these things, I mean, God bless Gibson for trying this stuff out. So we'll talk about it. So 1972, one of the first ones. Oh, by the way, if I do put it on to low impedance, virtually nothing. And I can tell you that even when it's on high impedance, it ain't high. It's not as powerful as, say, a Strat. And when you put it onto low impedance, there's absolutely, I mean, there's not, apparently that's for recording or for use with a low impedance amplifier, whatever one of those is. So yes, 1972, and I did have one of these, and in the 70s, and it absolutely would not keep up with any of the other lads in the band. And I had a decent amp at the time as well, as I recall. So, for live, but they weren't meant for live work, to be fair to the guitar. Les Paul wanted something that would make any sound at all, that would, or at least would have, you know, a zillion different combinations by using all the different twiddly bits that are on it. And fair play to him, yeah, that did happen indeed. So, bit of a big old instruction manual, and I wouldn't like to get involved with the wiring at all. So let's have a look from stem to stern. There's a lot to like about this. And of course these days, with decent boost pedals, you can probably make it live with the lads, you know. So, round the headstock, well, if that is not a custom hop shed tube, a custom shop headstock, then I don't know what is, with all that binding going on around the edge there. Good grief, I don't know what's happened to my words today. And the split diamond, and they would have been a bright pearl finish, I'm fairly sure, in 1972, and they've yellowed beautifully with age. There is sort of a binding on the, well, there is binding on the fretboard there, which is almost certainly rosewood, and again custom shop style block inlays. Tells you usefully on the truss rod that it is in fact a Les Paul recording, and we took a Bigsby off this, so you've got 22 frets, or at least the best part thereof, haven't you, you know, when you get up to here. And the pickups are this odd, I'm pretty sure, oh, how sure are you? 70%, that's not very sure, is it? But certainly at the time of manufacture, these were the only, again, as far as I know you'll write in and tell me if I got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure these were the only ones that were out at the time that were being used on the Les Paul recording model. And this blinking thing weighs in, let me tell you, again, you'll see something back here, what was it, 5.8 kg, nearly 12 pounds. That is going to take its toll over an evening's, but then again, you were never meant to play live with it. It was always meant to be used in a recording studio. The frets are absolutely sublime. They are flat and accurate and smooth, and oh my word, this guitar is, if nothing else, really, really easy to play. A bit of a C, regular kind of C shape there. Mahogany neck that impales a mahogany body. I think it's all mahogany, isn't it? It's not a maple cap, that. Very nice thing. And of course, all these Spaceship controls on some kind of plate nails the front. And so what have we got from top to bottom? We've got the most important one at the top there, the volume, and then this decayed thing that alters, as I say, subtly alters the harmonics, and there are 11 positions on there. Then you've got a treble knob and a bass knob. They both work fine. You've got a tone blade switch, like I say, it looks like they stolen that from a Telecaster. And then you have the high and low impedance and in and out of phase. Round the back, nice Grovers, lovely things. That serial number might mean something to somebody. Yeah, doesn't mean anything to me. But then again, they didn't start doing sensible numbering until, I don't know, was it about 1980, something like that. So anyway, lovely big old fat volute there. I'm loving that. That's very nice indeed. And around the back here, this has been played, as we can see. Now, the more observant amongst you may have noticed that there is no scratch plate, and it should have a scratch plate. Well, the scratch plate, I can tell you, is living in a box under close scrutiny because it has been signed by Les Paul with a Sharpie. So it's kept out of sunlight and out of anywhere where the signature can become damaged. So with these, they go out for about £3,500, generally, give or take, you know, depending on condition. One that's medium like this, £3,500, because of course they are quite a rare find, probably more of a collector's thing. And I would certainly rather have something like this that's very, very playable. We did remove a Bigsby from this. Originally, it would have possibly had either a harmonica or Maltese style bridge on here, but we've put a regular tunematic on and a regular stop down, and it's, you know, it really is just fine. The action is at 1.25. The two usual measurements at the 12th high and low E. High E is 1.25, low E is 2. And yeah, got a nice, really nice belly curve there, isn't it? Belly carve, I should say. Nice belly cut out. That's very useful for some people these days. And yeah, so certainly it looks like there's a bit of a sandwich thing going on there. You can see this line here where the material changes, and of course we've got some lovely black binding around the top edge there. That's not a big heel joint, that, is it? It's quite shallow, I'd have to say. Yeah, but certainly being played, and I do like. That's what guitars are for. I like to see a guitar that's being played, that's had a life, you know, used but not abused. So you are looking for the usual thing, obviously where the head meets the neck and where the neck meets the body, and you want as much originality as is reasonable, because let's face it, this is, my word, it's over 50 years old, isn't it? See? Is it? Yes, it is. So, yeah, and the other thing, of course, the whole point of these is that all of the weird electrics work. So that is something that you do need to be absolutely assured of, especially if you're going to be parting with a huge chunk of wonga. Plays just absolutely impeccably. It plays as well as anything else that I've ever played. The neck is so medium C that I can't imagine it would offend anybody, unless of course you've got exceptionally large or exceptionally small hands. But certainly for the standard British mitt, I should think it'll be pretty much okay. Yeah, really a thing of beauty. Again, like I say, gigging live might throw up a bit of a wobble for you, but like I say, these days with all the heavy duty pedals that we've got and whatever, you should be able to boost that 3.5 that it's popping out. And by the way, very weirdly, both pickups are reading the exact same amount. So whether that's got something to do with the circuitry, and quite frankly, I would taking it apart, but I don't want to disturb anything that's in there because it all works absolutely 100%. So that's it for this lovely old curiosity, and from the guitar as well. So, adios amigos, we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.